Everyone is looking for a purpose, a reason, a path, a mission. Have you ever asked yourself, why do we even need a purpose at all? Why are we so afraid of simply existing? Why do we always feel like we need to become something more, like we aren't enough as we are? Maybe the real problem is that you don't have a purpose. Maybe the problem is that you've been conditioned to believe you need one. And this is something that I learned 6 months ago. So, where does this idea of purpose even come from, right? We assume that life needs meaning, but why? You know? Most people confuse purpose with a goal, something to accomplish. Once I become this, I'll be happy with this. Once I get that degree, I'll get this. Once I get that job, I'll get this, right? But what if life was never about achieving anything? What if it was just about living, right? And so the need for meaning stems from a survival mechanism, right? Because our minds were built to solve problems even when there aren't any, right? The human brain evolved to detect patterns, avoid threats, and find solutions. Thousands of years ago, if you weren't alert, you die. If you were a caveman, right, and you hear rustling to the bushes, you got to figure out, is that a predator, right, or what's happening, right? So you got to be anxious, you got to be prepared. Are you going to fight or are you going to run, right? And so the brain has always evolved to ask what's wrong, what's missing, and what could go wrong, right? And this creates anxiety, right? Because nowadays, it's if you get a negative comment on social media, the brain reacts like it's real danger, even though it's not. So it's trying to protect you, but in this modern world, it's overreactive, right? And so purpose is just another problem to be solved. So why does this happen, right? Because it wouldn't make sense if it didn't exist. Okay, let me give you an example. If life has no meaning, then nothing matters. If nothing matters, there's no reason to keep going, right? So the brain creates meaning as a way to keep us engaged in life, right? Even when you accomplish something, your brain moves the goalpost. Okay, next target, next thing I need to do, right? Because it's an ancient survival instinct. If I stop pushing forward, I die, right? If let's just say I killed a rabbit, right, and I ate the rabbit. If I don't move on to the next rabbit I need to eat, I'm dead, right? But in modern life, this creates endless dissatisfaction, right? The brain evolved to always ask what's next, what's missing, what more do I need to do. We are biologically wired to feel like we never arrive, right? But now we have to erase that. We have to go back on this because purpose isn't something external. It's something the brain creates to keep you moving forward. And once you understand this, you can move forward. So the fear of emptiness allows us to fill a void, right? If we aren't becoming something, we feel lost, right? Humans are terrified of just existing, including myself, right? I couldn't stand to be bored. Once I was done with football and done with all the extracurriculars I had trouble thinking about what I actually wanted, what I wanted to do, what's my next goal, right? Because I always had goals, right? Going like playing Division 1 sport, and I got the scholarship, going to school, doing a club, getting a job, right? So when I had no more goals, I was freaking out because I was like, I should be chasing something else, right? And this is something that haunted me, right? Then I went to this, journey of what's my purpose? What's a way can I have impact? I'm looking at the world. I'm looking at all the things I can do, but it was just hurting my head knowing I can only pick one path. And I was trying to find the most efficient path to find my purpose, right? Which I didn't even know anymore because I got everything I want. I got the job. I'm about to graduate. I got one more semester left. So like, what's next? And so this drove me to seek my purpose, right? And I couldn't find my purpose. I tried all these different things. I tried music. I tried drawing. I tried art. I tried, playing these different sports, picking up basketball again, right? But is why do I feel uncomfortable with the idea of life having a meaning, right? Why can't life not have a meaning, right? We have no built-in mission. There's no pre-written story for us, and we are fully responsible for creating our own experience, right? And that level of freedom is terrifying unless you embrace it, right? So instead of accepting that you have this freedom and you can really do whatever you want in life, I used to fill the void with external meaning, right? And that drove me nuts. That kept me distracted. But once I realized that I should embrace this freedom and I can do anything I want, then life became way better, right? You ever notice how some people feel anxious when they aren't being productive or how they fear being bored? Like, I should be doing things right now. If you have these thoughts, you're in a way, you're programmed, right? Because that's the mind panicking because it doesn't know how to exist without something to chase, right? When you stop moving, you realize there's nothing to chase. And that's scarier, right? Because you've been chasing for so long, so you realize there's no need to chase. Then it's like you have to, unprogram your brain, right? But when you stop chasing, you also see how the world has always trained you to run. In school, you are never taught how to enjoy learning, right? Only how to perform and move forward. Okay, we have this rubric, right? We're gonna learn this, this, and this. You're gonna get these grades. Then you move on to another grade, right? Or you move on to another subject, right? You're never taught to question why you're doing this, right? Why are we learning math? Why are we learning science, right? You just have to in school, right? These salaries that we get from working, it's just enough to keep us from quitting, but not enough to set us free, you know? And the more money you make, the more responsibilities you give, right? And even though you're making more money, it's cool, you have less time, right? And so the system makes sure that like by the time you realize that you don't want this life, if you become 30, you're having kids now, you have all these expenses to walk away, right? And that's scary. And next thing you know, you're looking back because you have all these responsibilities and you never did the things that you actually want to do, right? And so most people don't actually fear not having a purpose. They fear being alone with themselves, right? And so society always tells us that we need to be something, right? That we're always one step away from achieving that thing to achieving our purpose, right? From birth, you're told that you must accomplish something to be worthy, right? When you get told in the first grade or kindergarten who do you want to be when you grow up, it's usually a job, right? I want to be a firefighter. I want to be an astronaut. Why can't it just be I want to be me? I want to be the best version of myself, right? You know what I'm saying? If people felt content with themselves, they'll stop chasing. And if you stop chasing, you stop buying, working, and consuming, right? I'm not working 100 hours to. Okay, let's just start with buying, right? If I'm content with all the things that I have, then I'm buying less things, right? And if I'm buying less things, then I'm saving money. If I have more money in the account, I don't need to work as hard, right? If I have less expenses, I don't need $100,000 job if my expenses are only $1,000 a month, right? And if I stop working and I stop consuming and I stop buying, then it leads to freedom, right? It leads to me doing the things I actually want. It leads to me spending my money on things that are actually going to impact me, traveling, experiences, talking to new people, learning new activities, a book, right? Things that help me allow me to create, not things that force me to consume, you know? And so school teaches us that success equals external validation, right? Grades, degrees, praise. Religion teaches you that you need salvation. They must become better to be worthy. And social media teaches you that your life isn't enough. You need to look better. You need to do more. You need to be more. You know how many times I look on Instagram and it's a dude waking up at 4 a.m., having the most productive day, right? He's getting up, cold water plunge, right? 50 pull ups, right? He's answering phone calls at 6 a.m. He's doing all these things till 10 p.m. and he does it again. That is, the world doesn't want you to feel like you're enough. Because if you did, you'll be uncontrollable, right? Those videos are stupid. You don't have to be doing 100 things every day to feel like you're enough, right? When do you have time to rest? When do you have time to enjoy yourself, right? Your mind wasn't born thinking you needed to become something. Babies don't worry about status, career, or purpose. They just exist, fully present. Poop, cry, laugh. A river doesn't question its purpose, it just flows. A sun doesn't try to prove itself, it just shines. Only humans struggle with the idea that they need to become something. Any animal you look, a dolphin isn't worried about what it needs to become. It just eats food, right? It just goes hunt, sleep, and mate, you know? But from the moment we enter the system, which it starts out with school for most of us, we're taught that we're missing something. And look who gains the power when you feel like you're not enough, right? If you feel like you're ugly, then every beauty product company, every company that buys clothes, every company that profits off of you feeling there's a lot of companies that profit off of you feeling ugly, right? If you feel poor, you're going to work endlessly without questioning why, right? You might buy a course, you might do these different things to convince you that you need to get rich, right? And you need your basic necessities covered, but you don't really need to be rich, right? You just need to have enough, right? If you feel lost, you feel like you start believing in somebody else's belief instead of trusting yourself. What do you want, right? What are the things you want to go after, right? And so the real game in this system, in this matrix, is that marketing profits from your insecurities, right? Employers profit from your need to prove yourself, right? Whether that's standards and grades and all these metrics, right? Institutions profit from the fear of you not knowing the truth. Why do you think so many books are banned, right? Why do you think this information is not out here in the public, right? Government profits from you needing a leader instead of being your own leader, right? Every system that keeps the world running depends on you feeling like you're missing something, right? But meaning is something we create, not something we discover. You're not going to discover your purpose. You're going to live your life, and eventually you're going to look back and find out that you created all these things, and that is your purpose, right? Whether that's an opportunity for somebody, whether that's as a physical structure, a company, whatever you create, right? That's going to be your purpose, right? Even if you create memories, those are a part of your purpose, right? It's whatever you decide it is, right? Life isn't about reaching a goal. It's about experiencing every moment fully. So what if the need for a purpose is just a distraction from keeping you from truly experiencing your life? Thank you.